Good evening, everybody. My name's Tom Stoukas, coming to you live from Sarnia, Ontario, July 9th. Summer's halfway over almost. So, lots of crazy stuff happening this week. The Epstein thing blew up in the States there. It's the Epstein list after Donald Trump and his Justice Department basically said, nothing to see here, it's over. No list, no list of pedophiles to expose. So it's lots of blowback on Donald Trump for that. A lot of people don't believe it. So it should be interesting to see where it goes, if it has legs, if it hurts them in the polls for basically breaking a huge campaign promise to release the Epstein information. And in Canada, our Prime Minister's on vacation after going to the Stampede, so he's just left Canada to fall apart on its own. And Doug Ford's at the cottage too, I'm sure. Oh, actually, he was at a Walmart conference today, or business thing sponsored by Walmart. Anyway, so our leaders are doing a great job. So some of the big stories I saw today, the Ontario colleges are going to lay off like 10,000 people, which is a huge number, I guess. Obviously, they stopped being colleges like 10 years ago and became immigration processing centers. So now they're getting back to reality. And just all sorts of messed up stories of the Indian variety, unfortunately. Now, the last thing I want to do is come on here and just talk about Indians all day. But it's like literally every day there's different stories. And it's just just shows Canada changing each day. With each day passing, it changes into India. It's weird watching it, and you're just sitting there watching it, and it's like, what the hell did this happen? And can you fix it? It's hard to fix. Like I look at the news all day, and all the headlines, all sorts of criminal enterprises. It's all Indian names. Sing, sing, sing. So yeah, it's like I don't want to talk about this every day, but I guess I just talk about what goes on my feed every day. So, and I saw in Canada, I think it's coming, where people are gonna get visited by the police for what they say online, similar to the UK and Germany and other countries. And remember the Online Harms Act, which was put in by Trudeau but didn't go through. He's going to try and put something. I read somewhere he's going to try and put something like that through again. And that was a scary one. That one was like putting you in jail for being a hater. And so he'll probably, and then if today the RCMP made a bust in Quebec of some guys who are like extremist white nationalists or whatever, and a couple of them are in the army. They're enlisted in the army. So it's an RCMP thing. I don't trust anything the RCMP says, but I can see this. There's two things for me. There's two aspects to this. First of all, I don't trust them. They're, it's a kind of like a setup to go after anybody that complains about the government. But also, why the hell are they going after these dudes playing soldier in the woods when there's like criminal enterprises throughout Canada from all over the world operating without a problem Like, they should be spending all their resources on this thing. So, yeah, some kind of bullshit case, the RCMP. It reminds me of Coots, the Coots thing, where they totally blew that thing up out of proportion. And, RCMP's been involved in so many sketchy things. So, without further ado, we'll go to this day that was on the Xbox. There's so much weird stuff going on. I don't care. I don't even track it anymore. I just watch. Some messed up stuff. I have a personal story though. Like, maybe I'll start off with. It's just like I was going to the dentist yesterday, and I had both my kids, and one of them is a little special needs, so she doesn't like going into the office. So I park in front of the office so I can let her sit in the car and get the Wi-Fi signal. And the car's secure. I have it so she can't touch like I have the remote control. Anyway, we're going to pull in there, and there's someone right in front of the dentist. There's 3 spots right in front of the dentist. And there's a car there, and it looks like he's leaving, but it's actually he's just parking. He gets out, and he's wearing a staff shirt for the restaurant that's at the corner of this plaza. And he's an Indian with a turban. I would have said the same thing if it was a white guy, but I'm like, hey man, I was in my car. I was driving around the parking lot. And I was like, hey man, you shouldn't be parking there. That's for the dentist people. And he just looked at me like I was speaking Chinese. And he just kept walking. I was in my car, and then he walked to the kitchen door of the restaurant there. And it's like, man, and the ladies, my dentist people said that he does it all the time. Like, he parks in front of their door. See, that's a handicap spot, so nobody else can park. And there's a vet's thing right next to. So he parks in that spot and walks to his kitchen door when he should be parking at the back, like everybody else that works in the plaza. Like, the point is it fucked me up because I needed a Wi-Fi signal and I needed to keep a line of sight on my kid. And B, it's just retarded, disrespectful, lazy. And it's just the culture, like, it's like they don't give a fuck. Like, these are Canadian norms that you don't park. And, like, the guy's going to be there for a few hours. Park at the back. What if an old lady needs to go get her teeth done, or someone with a baby, whatever. It's just ignorant. So I yelled at him. I said, what the fuck, man? And he just looked at me like, huh? And it's like, people think, oh, you're making a big deal out of it, but first it's this, then it's something else. Next thing you know, they're raping your woman and shitting on the sidewalk. Well, where does it end? I mean, still, parking spot. It's a bit of a stretch, but you know what I mean. All right, that was my story. But it was so annoying. I was so mad because I was like, when you go with 2 kids, you're planning it like an operation, and this guy screwed up my whole operation. Okay, here's today, July 9th. So this is the RCMP talking about their little bust. RCMP say they found explosives, firearms, weapons, ammunition during investigation. So it's a couple gun nuts who enjoying themselves, and who knows how much money and time they put into this investigation. But look at this chick, the RCMP, and it looks like something from Saturday Night Live. And she's talking about extremists, and she's talking about, right-wing Canadians, white Canadians, who basically are saying, we don't want what you guys are selling. So let's see what she says here.
someone you know was very
Listen, it looks like Saturday Night Live because looks so stupid. Like, this is RCMP.
radicalization in general quite often will show by people isolating themselves and changing their behavior, like changing what they're saying on a subject, like becoming more extremist. Like, and if someone you know was very believed in equal gender rights, but all of a sudden are leaning towards like traditional values, and that might be a sign that they're becoming more extremist.
Oh my God. So she's been the clown of the day. Everybody's making fun of her. I don't think she'll be giving no TV interviews for the RCMP again. But yeah, this is the culture we're governed with. It's not just the prime minister, it's not just the cabinet, it's not just the premier, it's not just the MPPs. It's the school boards, it's the police leadership, it's the union leadership, it's the just the city, the mayors, everybody. They're all retarded, and that's why Canada is in the situation we're in. Because of people like her and people like everybody that's been running things last 10 years. I mean, if you want a fair work assessment, that is it. There, she's making the rounds. Yeah, RCMP is an embarrassment. They need to get rid of it. Start, maybe not even replace it, just get rid of it. Next. Jeffrey Epstein. One of the craziest things about the Epstein thing is this guy was a billionaire. No one knew how he got his money, yet the government can tell you exactly how much taxes you owe every year and make sure they collect it. Yeah. It's so much covered up, this thing. The guy was a math teacher at some prep school, and then next thing you know, he's this billionaire owning the biggest house in New York City. Such a cover up. I think this Trump is gonna stink him up. There's Ben Shapiro saying nothing to see here. Epstein things, he's just a creepy guy. Nothing to see.
According to a memo detailing the findings obtained, we now have the answers. And the problem is this. People who never hedged their bets, people who never at any point suggested to you that they don't have data to back up the speculation, that the speculation was in and of itself the conclusion that if you speculate without evidence, that amounts to an actual conclusion to an investigation, they're going to be very upset today, because it turns out that the DOJ and the FBI have concluded that Epstein didn't have a client list and died by suicide, according to a memo detailing the findings obtained by Axios. Now again, does this put to bed like all inquiries? Of course not. People can continue to speculate as much as they want, and I think there's still open questions here regarding how did Epstein make his money. But that's a very serious open question. And the speculation for a long time was he made his money from blackmail. But the DOJ and the FBI, again, run by people like Dan Bongino and Kash Patel and Pam Bondi, are telling you. They are
So anyway, that's the line. He's like, oh, nothing to see. It's done deal. I thought that was interesting. All the Israel First people are saying, move along, move along. Next, I guess truck driver Pleb is back from Thailand from his post-election vacation. And I was a bit mean. I said, he cried like a pussy on election night. Fuck him and Pierre. Wait, he blocked me a long time ago. But whatever. I don't wish him ill will. But he did say he was going to leave Canada and not come back if Pierre lost. So, yeah, he broke that promise. But I'm not too worried about the Pleb. He cried on election night. Like, I would stay in Thailand. Fire him. He would be like, at least he would be somewhat maybe respected there. There she goes. According to the RCMP staff sergeant, if you believe in gender equal, yeah. There, she's making the rounds today. Clown of the day. This lady is the clown. But anyway, it's a sign of things to come. Whether these charges for Quebec, these guys in Quebec stick, or if it's just a bunch of BS. it's a sign of things to come. There's going to be a crackdown, especially on the ex-users of Canada. All right. Next, you either get your head blown off in Dallas trying to dismantle the deep state or live long enough to become part of it. Yeah. That's this. Oh, there's Ghislaine. She's in jail. Free Ghislaine Maxwell's. Trafficking underage girls to thin air is not a crime. Yes. She's in jail for 20 years. Okay. Max Blumenthal. Had the Democrats done Trump Epstein instead of the Trump Russia hoax, they might be in power right now. Trump Epstein was the gut shot that Dems never took. And they couldn't because Epstein had them on the books as well. Yeah. I don't think it has anything to do with whether Trump's on the list or the Bill Clinton or whoever. Everybody was on it. So they're not going to release on Trump because they knew they would get exposed. Maybe. I don't know. But like, it's crazy. Like, the way they're just, oh, nothing to see here, nothing. The guy literally, he had ex-president, he basically, Bill Clinton can't go anywhere without being called a pedo now because he hung around with Epstein. Bill Gates got divorced because his wife didn't like Epstein. Prince Andrew got kicked out of the royal family basically because he was friends with Epstein. Former Israeli prime minister got like a $2 million loan from him or something. So it's like, yeah, this guy's just a creep. He didn't do anything other than hurt little girls. Like, so basically anybody who's implicated with him is scot-free. That's what they're saying. So he's got them all by the nuts. He's probably still alive. He's probably on some island. Yes, Mr. Jeffrey. Okay, there's another one. Portney. Less politics, more flying cars. He's talking about, Elon. Because Elon's talking about the Epstein files. Elon's like, how can people be expected to have faith in Trump if he won't release the Epstein files? Elon's being pretty funny about the Epstein thing, too. He's saying I guess the ex-lady, the CEO, quit today, too. Who knows what's going on? Next, Scott Adams. Both Biden and Trump administrations have, in their own indirect ways, told the public to assume the worst-case assumptions about the Epstein situation are the correct ones. So I do. So, yeah, Trump has himself to blame with this Epstein thing, because for months they were saying how horrible all the stuff was and how it's coming out and all. And then next thing you know, nothing. So he kind of he hyped it all up. And then says nothing to see here. So he has really himself to blame on this whole fiasco. Now he doesn't even want to talk about it. Before, for months, they were like, we're going to release this. We're going to release it. Next one. Daniel Thierry. They told us immigration would bring prosperity. Instead, we got higher rent, lower wages, overcrowded hospitals, cultural division. Diversity is our strength is a lie. Unity is our real strength, and we've lost it. Yes. We see it every day now. It's all gone to shit. It brings prosperity to the elites and makes the middle class landless peasants. Yeah. You wonder why they're bringing all these millions of people in. It's because it's more customers. That's all they care about. More customers, bigger market, more money for them. All right. Here, this RCMP, everybody's talking about her. Okay, armed force members accused of trying to start a militia. So we're not allowed to have a militia now in Canada. Talk about a commie shit here. These guys probably just in the woods, chilling out, probably had a couple acres, trying to play, have fun, and they got the RCMP up their ass. What an embarrassment to Canada. There's Ghislaine again. Free Ghislaine. Or put her on suicide watch. All right. Next. Speaking of RCMP, RCMP released 2 suspects connected to an organized crime group from India who have been shooting up Vancouver businesses in an attempt to extort the owners for cash. Police call it a big win and the first step to resolving the matter. I don't know how it's a big win if they released them. So, again, instead of going after, these guys in the woods playing with guns and little explosives, maybe you should concentrate on these international gangs, because they're everywhere. They should focus on catching and deporting these criminals instead of going after right-wing Canadians in the woods. I'm totally have no problem saying that. Next. They're trying to memory hole Jeffrey Epstein because this is a Trump cabinet meeting, or they were getting asked questions and someone asked about Epstein. And Trump got all like, oh, you're talking about Epstein. Why are you talking about him? There's dead people in Texas and you're talking about Epstein. So it's going to backfire on him. Oh.
You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time?
See, he's taking a lot of flack for this answer. And they all look kind of like morbid, embarrassed. I don't know. I don't think this is going to go away. I hope it doesn't. I don't believe the narrative they're spinning that he's just some creep with a weird predilection for young girls, and he wasn't blackmailing anybody. He wasn't. Pretty sure something more than that was going on. Next, forget about the client list, and in return, we give you a Russiagate investigation. So yeah, they announced the criminal investigation into former FBI Director Comey and CIA Director Brennan for their roles in the Russia hoax against Trump. So yeah, forget about Epstein. We'll talk about these guys, and nothing will happen to these guys. There's Jeffrey Epstein getting put into the memory hole. Everybody had a lot of comments on her. Max Bernier, this RCMP police officer, says not believing gender nonsense anymore and switching to more traditional values may be a sign of radicalization. Come and arrest me, woke moron. I'm clearly a radical extremist who may be about to commit some terrorist act. Yeah, it's ridiculous. This is this country we live in. It's funny, I saw this Haaretz. Defense Minister says Israel plans to concentrate all Gaza's population in humanitarian zone built on Rafah's ruins. And then the plan said to outline humanitarian transit camps to house Gazans before possible relocation. Geez, that sounds just like what the Nazis were trying to do to the Jews during World War II. Next, Brampton. This was in the news today. These guys arrested, plus 3 youths, in connection to multiple incidents of kidnapping and armed robberies with a firearm. So yeah, criminal gangs. So what I think they were doing was, you know how you sell stuff online and you meet up with somebody to get the money and give them the stuff. So like a pair of shoes or whatever. So these guys were doing the rip-offs. Like they were luring people there with money, I guess, and ripping them off. So, of course, from India. So that's what you see every day. Like this is getting really out of hand. Like if it's not truckers getting caught for smuggling tons of kilos of cocaine, it's these little punks or tow truck extortion gangs or retarded truck drivers or whatever, or people sexual assault in the public pool. Who knows? Lots of different angles. But yeah, that's what they were doing. So they were ripping people off from online deal, like people buying and selling online. I think. Well, look at this. I saw this headline today. Immigration caps are contributing to lower asking rents in Canada, CMHC says. Yeah, so after all that time when people were saying immigration's causing housing to be unaffordable, people were saying, oh, you're being racist, you're scapegoating. Now it's like literally CMHC saying the same. And it's still not low enough, the rents, to be honest. You need to get another 30, at least 30, 40% drop in those rents. Deport, it's not going to happen, but next, another big story today. More than 10,000 Ontario college staff laid off. 600 programs canceled or suspended over. So basically 10,000 Ontario college staff. And the reason is because 10 years ago, the greedy executives and people running the Ministry of Education and the government, and who knows who else got a kickback, decided to turn our beautiful colleges into immigration processing centers, bringing in international students, getting huge international student fees, and using that money, I don't know for what. They did a lot of expansion, all sorts of stuff, and now that they're cutting down on student visas, and not just that, students are not choosing not to come here, so now they have to make all these cuts. So I said this years ago. It's like our college here was turning just into an immigration processing center. And since they started doing that, our rents have doubled. Health services, everything's stressed. And now the college's whole business model is collapsing. So maybe they should just concentrate on like having like a good reputation for training for like really in demand industries, you know, like instead of trying to make a buck on international students. Next post. Look at this. More Indian news. Oh, this is the one. Indian men connected. This is the one about the RCMP. 2 Indian men connected to the Lawrence Bishni gang in India and part of an extortion racket in Vancouver were arrested and released within 24 hours. The RCMP won't confirm if they hold citizenship. So yeah, it's ridiculous. They held them and released them. And meanwhile, these poor guys in Quebec are probably going to be in jail for weeks. So here's the Brampton guys again. Like again, I think they were doing the meetups. So you guys got to be careful. If you're selling stuff online or buying stuff, these guys will rip you off. Oh. Anyway, I don't know why it's not coming up. All right. Multiple violent robberies and kidnapping in Brampton targeted members of the South Asian and 2 LGBTQ plus communities. 3 separate instances where suspects arranged in-person meetings with victims via social media, most often through Snapchat. In some cases, police said the suspects purported to be members of these communities. Upon meeting, the victims were robbed, and in some cases, a firearm was presented. Okay. I don't know how they were getting them on. Anyway. Just a little robbery ring. And another Indian story. Oh my God. This time in London, Ontario. And like, I don't look for these. This is all Canadian headlines every day. London, Ontario hospital sues former staff contractors for $60 million plus in, oh my God, alleged fraud and negligence. London, Ontario. Let's see who these gentlemen are. This is ridiculous. Now it's hospitals versus the tow trucks. $60 million after decade-long fraud and negligence. All right, here's our boys here: Deepesh Patel, Neem Modi, Paresh, Sony, Derek Law. Anyway, you get the picture. You get the idea. So apparently they stole like 60 mil from this hospital. It's like scamming is in their blood or something. All right. Look at this, another Indian story. Oh, this is the Bell technician story, which is funny because the Bell guy was at my house today. He's putting in internet for the new Indians down right 2 doors down from me. And he had to ask to go in my backyard. So, but he was a white dude, and he was a pretty nice guy. But look at this one. Indian citizen. Samarpreet Singh, who came to Canada on a student visa and became a Bell technician. How the hell, I don't know, whipped his junk out at a client in her own home in 2003. So this woman calls Bell, says, I need internet. The guy shows up. Ontario judge gave him 90 days house arrest last month. Feels light considering how he abused. Let's see. Let's read this. On December 9, 2023. This is in Canada. The victim was alone in her basement apartment when Mr. Singh, then working as a Bell Canada technician, responded to a service call to come to her new residence to install an installation cable for her Wi-Fi router. After using the victim's bathroom, Mr. Singh came out with his pants unzippered and his unerect penis exposed to the victim. Man. Oh, man. He left his penis out of his pants for a period of some 20 minutes. Fuck, he let it air out there. During this time, he made inappropriate comments to the victim about her physical attractiveness and asked her untoward questions about his dick's hang. What the hell, man? I don't think that works. I don't think that's a good pickup move. And whether he could find her a job with her employer, I don't understand. He wanted a job. Okay. The victim was traumatized by this. You think? So anyway, he got 90 days house arrest because the judge was worried about him getting deported if he gave him a more serious sentence or something. It's fucked up. It's fucked up, man. Like, we're the dummies. Our leaders, the people who are running this country are the dummies for doing this, for allowing this stuff to happen. Why they're allowing it to happen, I don't know. I'm not 100% sure why. Could be just for money, could be something else, but unless it changes, you got to either accept that you're going to live in Brampton in India, or you're going to have to move to a different country. Which is too bad. Shouldn't have to move. Next, another story from another Indian. Brampton Sheridan College student allegedly films himself drug driving. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, you wonder why there's so many accidents on the road you hear every day. All right, you get the picture. Watch out when you're driving. Next. Oh, another Indian story. Indians who are bragging about entering the U.S. illegally from Canada thanks to shady characters based in India who facilitated their journey. So basically what they do is, because Canada is so easy to get into, some Indians who really just want to go to the States will go through Canada and then get smuggled through the forest of the state to the States. That's how easy it is to get into Canada. And you wonder why. It's literally a business from the north. So you got the Mexicans coming to the States from the south and Indians coming from the north. Next. This is crazy. A crash on the Gardner yesterday. 3 to 4 car accident on the Gardner. It looks like something out of a movie, eh? Wonder who was driving. No confirmation yet if there's an Indian connection. But you never know. And here we got our Sarnia content. This guy, I thought that was kind of funny. This guy got in a fight with the parking gate at the hospital here. Look, oh. He's like, I'm going to get you. You bumped into me, you mother. You got it. Oh. I call it a draw. Now he's trying to hump it or something. He's whacked. I thought that was funny. Cost $1,000 damage. And that's it. So we have our white guy crime of the day. He wasn't walking around with his penis hanging out. And he wasn't robbing people. He was getting in a fight with a parking gate. Alright. So that's it, man. Oh. Or I had something actually, but it didn't show up. This is what I made for Sarnia. Okay, that's the one. Bell Canada employee who exposed himself to a woman for 20 minutes inside her home gets only 90 days out. Like, that's sexual assault. That's ridiculous. Somarpreet Singh, 23, deport. And the judge gave him that sentence so he wouldn't. So he might not get less chance of getting deported. Like, what a joke. What a joke this country is, man. But this is how it feels in Sarnia. Like, I'm starting to feel like Brampton here. Like, serious. It's getting ridiculous. It's like, I don't want to go to Brampton. Why would I want to live in Brampton? Now I don't have to live in Brampton. I could live in Sarnia. It feels more like Brampton with each passing day. And this is an AI image, but you get the picture. So, that's it. Our next broadcast will be tomorrow, July 10th. And we'll see what other news comes out. Hopefully some non-Indian news, but I don't think so. Not looking good. It's not looking good. All right. So until then, everybody have a good night. We'll see you tomorrow.